I'd like to welcome everyone back to So-Called Experts. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to talk about the punishments handed out by Roger Goodell on all of the Saints players for their participation in the bounty. But before we get into that, I'd like to give my condolences to the Junior Seau family. As everyone knows, today they're saying that he committed suicide this morning. As a USC fan, I've always followed and loved the way Junior Seau played football. For all those years when he was the Chargers, he was the best outside linebacker I've ever seen. He has the most Pro Bowls tied as a linebacker with Ray Lewis, which just tells you how great this man is. And the thing that I love is that at USC, he will forever be remembered. There is a Club 55, which the best linebacker at USC traditionally wears 55. Now, Junior Seau wore it, was the second to wear it. Actually, Jack Del Rio was, the first All-American linebacker at USC to wear 55. Junior Seau came after him, wanted to start this tradition, wore 55. He was an All-American. And since then, great players such as Willie McGinnis, Claiborne, you had Keith Rivers, and now you have the freshman last year, Dawson, all trying to carry on this tradition. So Junior Seau, you're going to be remembered at USC forever. So now with that being said, I'd like to get into the bounty program. I have my cousin out there, Bear. He's arguing with me saying that these players should get worse. They deserve everything they got. They're cheap shot artists. They deserve to get punished to the max extent of the law. And Roger Goodell was in his right to do what he did. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't in his right. Obviously, he's the commissioner. He has the right to do whatever he wants, which is another topic which I've already talked about that I don't like. It's like a dictatorship. It's a one-man show. If he don't like something, he doesn't have to answer to anyone. And I get, I think this is a lot to do with politics. It's the fact that the NFL is being sued right now by former players for, saying that the NFL neglected to take care of them and knew about head trauma and knew about concussions, but did nothing to protect them. So now they're suing because, they're injured because of their playing days. And it gets me because football's always been talked about the tough man sport. And, even the older players now, the Mike Ditkas and these guys who played back in the day, what do they say about football today? They say it's getting soft. I forgot the guy's name. Is it Duerson, the former safety for the Bears, who just recently committed suicide? Said that he had dementia. He's suing the NFL for head trauma. But I heard this on the radio yesterday. He used to have a radio show up to a couple years ago where he constantly called the NFL soft. But then he was suing the NFL, saying, that they didn't take care of him. Well, you can't have it both ways. Which is it? Is the NFL do you want it to be tough or do you want to be taken care of? The one thing that I bring up, and it's not that they're related, they're two different organizations, but Spygate with the Patriots. To me, that is way worse. As a fan, I get as a player, you might, be pissed off if your name was on that. If you're Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, you might be pissed off that your name was on a bounty and that you can say you were headhunted, But to me as a fan, I think us fans should hate Spygate more, because to me, the way I put it is, what do you care more about, the integrity of the league or the image of the league? Me, I care about the integrity. I want to know that the games are fair. I want to know that both teams are playing on an even playing field. Now, obviously, some teams have better talent, and that's fine. But I want to know that they're following the same rules, that they're following, the same everything. What if the one team was allowed, to blitz and one wasn't? That wouldn't be fair. That's the integrity of the game. You want it to be fair. Now, the image of the game, that's up to Roger Goodell to protect. Obviously, he doesn't want, the bad publicity of concussions and all of this other stuff, so I get it. But why are you suspending Jonathan Vilma for a year? What did he do that was so terrible? I get it that he supposedly funded the money. He just came out with a statement today saying that he never fronted $10,000 or promised anyone $10,000 for anyone being carted off the field. But, that's he say, she say, So, but I don't understand why a year suspension comes into play. So you're saying because he offered money for someone to hit someone, it's football. Hit them. That's what you're supposed to do. I didn't ever hear anything about him saying, hey, on the bottom of a pile, twist their ankle, or, go after the head. Now, that was the coach, Greg Williams, who I am all in favor of his suspension, because you hear all these NFL players all the time who are current analysts say, this isn't new. Bounties have always been around. The only difference is in this one with the Saints is the coaches were involved. The coaches were the ones running it. So I think the coaches should be punished, but the players did nothing different. You know, it's Roger Goodell making an example out of them. But you're telling me, oh, well, they were trying to eliminate the competition. They were trying to get them carted off the field. How many fights has the NFL have? Last year there was Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan got into a fight. They both ripped each other's helmets off. And after Andre Johnson put him on the ground, no helmets, he started bombing on Finnegan. Now I could swear that's more likely to take Finnegan out of the game than a hard hit. And what happened to Andre Johnson? He only got fined $25,000. Now keep in mind, $25,000 to us is a lot of money. He's a millionaire. Okay, that's nothing. That's chump change to him. He got no suspension. He got kicked out of that game, but it was already the fourth quarter. He got no suspension. And then, you know, probably the most gutless act in NFL history. You know, Cowboy fans are going to remember this one. Andre Garrard, you know, your center is on the bottom, you know, a pile. Albert Hainsworth, without a helmet, Albert Hainsworth steps on him. He cleats the guy's face, slashes his face. He only got, I think, a 5-game suspension. That's more likely to take someone out of a game than a hit, which is what Vilma's guilty of. He never said a cheap shot. You know what happened with Sue last year? You know, Dominican Sue, he kicked someone on the bottom of a pile. I think he got like a 4-game suspension. You know, what's up? So how is that fair? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the bounty program is right, that it should go unpunished. What I'm saying is the cover-up is always greater than the crime. Let me say that again for everyone out there. Everyone out there in every walk of life needs to remember this. The cover-up is greater than the crime. Because if they would have just came out from the get-go and admitted to it, they probably would have walked away clean. Or, you know, a fine like the rest of these guys. But because they try to cover it up, Roger Goodell, I understand he had to come down hard. My only argument is, not saying that it's right, is it fair? Are there suspensions, you know, fair with everything else that's gone on in the league? You know, is it an equal playing field? You know, like I said, these other ones, people getting hit on the head without a helmet, people getting stepped on, they only got a couple of games. Now, Jonathan Vilma's getting a year. That's my only one. Again, the coaches deserve what they got because coaches, according to NFL players, because let's get this straight too, none of us that probably listen to this show have ever played in the NFL. So we were not in the locker room. We don't know if, you know, bounties are regular, but I hear the analysts and they say it's normal. You know, so the only thing that makes this abnormal is the coaches. So coaches, yeah, they should get what they got. The players, I'm a little iffy about. I understand that Goodell had to make a statement, make an example of these guys, but I can't say I buy it. You know, to me, the Patriots got away with a slap on the wrist. You know, they did far worse. You know, you hear Steelers players, Rams players, the teams that the Patriots beat on the way to their Super Bowls complaining about they knew something was fishy during the game when the Patriots were picking up every blitz the Steelers threw at them. When, you know, the Patriots defenders knew every route that the Rams receivers were running in the Super Bowl. That to me is way worse. The integrity of the game is what matters most. This is why I hate steroids. In baseball, it's the integrity of the game. When you bring in steroids and HGH, you throw off the fairness. You know, the ladders are no longer even. The integrity is gone. So to me, that's what I care about. You know, so with that said, I'd like to, you know, give my condolences to Junior Seau. You know, a great USC Trojan, great Charger. You know, fight on, Roger Seau. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my cousin, Paco. You know, he works out there at a men's homeless shelter in LA. You know, talk about a tough job, man. That guy right there, I went out there. Hey, that's tough. I wanted to give him a shout out. He hooked me up with some Dodger tickets last week and this week. So with that said, again, support your troops, support your homeless shelters. You know, support my collaboration, which is vhvtv.org. Let me know what you think. You know, do you agree with me? What's worse to you, the Saints bounty program or the Patriots Spygate? Hit me up, comment, you know, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you know, so-called experts. Follow me on any one or all of them, please. Thank you. I'm out.